I've been doing work over 30 years in documentaries, in a spot in Haifa, which is where I was born, in which on the margin of the society you have good relations between Israelis and Palestinians through a long time. It's documentaries I did over 30 years in some intervals. And last year my co-writer, Marie-José, told me that she found a little dispatch in the news about a woman in an Arab village in al-Fahim who was born in Auschwitz. And so she called me and she said, I think it may interest you, you know. And at the beginning I said, again, you know, all this torture, the Middle East again and again. But then a few weeks later I said, yeah, let's do it. It's good to do it. And so we built the narrative. We co-wrote the story. And also it's now 7 protagonists, women and men. And also it is situated in maybe one of the last enclaves of a kind of a bidonville on the border between Jaffa and Tel Aviv. The idea of the film is to show that the relations should be continuous. It should not be a rupture in the relations. Then if we translate what I say to cinema, it means we don't make a cut in the relations. You know, I think in cinema you have a lot of, you have to do, for me as a spectator, I like the films that do 2 things. They speak about content and they speak about form. So you have a lot of films which only speak about form but they have no content. We have too many of these. You have some films who speak about content in a kind of engaged way, but they don't have a form. I think that the challenge is really to try to do form and content. And so the form is the sequence shot. It's a high-risk project in a sense that you can end up with a film that's a happy moment, but you can end up with 0. So if at the end of the exercise you don't have a good take, you have nothing. Because you cannot use cutting or montage as a method to improve what you don't have. So it's you're walking into a high risk situation, and we did several takes, and luckily there was one which is the film. I think there are a lot of similarities between cinema and architecture. They are both cinema and architecture that are not intimate arts. They are not some guy painting on a canvas or writing a text. You need to work with people. You need to motivate them. You need to share with them. Also, it's fair to say that the product of every film is not just the director. I mean, I don't like anymore to do auditions in a, you know, I think that the auditions in the classical way are becoming too alienating. You know? So you see the almighty director and then the actors. And I think in cinema you don't need this kind of procedure because this lens which is looking at me, you know, some person could be timid, can be shy, but can be a very good actress or actor. So, and the audition, the classical audition is sometimes it's too threatening. So you have to find other ways of doing casting. For me, the best films, I said it's sometimes they start, as a spectator I'm saying, they start when the screening is over. You know, there are 2 kinds of cinema. One cinema is for consumer. So you, like a hamburger, you swallow it and then the next day you don't even, you really break your head. You try to figure out what was this film about. And it was maybe pleasant, you know, we can see it over flights or to watch it, but it doesn't leave any trace, you know. I think the more interesting works are challenging. It means that they are not easy to interpret immediately, but you kind of walk with them some days and some weeks, and you say, maybe what this guy, this person wanted to say is this, so you have to figure it out. And in my experience as a spectator, when I see a film of Pasolini or Fassbinder or Glauber Rocha, one of these really challenging directors, takes time, but I understand. With the years, it takes time, but I understand what they wanted to tell me. So this is what I hope Anna Arabia will do to the Swedish audience.